Ho ho ho, ask your mom what she got for Christmas. And welcome to Fan Favorite 2, where I played the most. You know what? This intro kinda sucks. I still have to work on that. I was wondering what I was going to do for Christmas, but after looking for some Christmas related games, I couldn't find much besides The Grinch on the PS1. Or Die Hard. So I decided to make another video with the games you liked. This time around, I was checking Discord for suggestions you guys gave me, and I decided that I should play some of the games that people originally asked me to play, since it took me so long to get to it. And because of that, today's keyword is weird. That's right, today we're checking out MDK, The Unholy War, and Mort the Chicken. Wait, Mort the Chicken? Alright. So again, thank you everyone for the suggestions. If yours didn't make the cut, it will probably appear in another video. I'll try to find games that have at least something to do with each other for these episodes. Like, for example, Super Nintendo games, PS1 games, weird games. But yeah, starting from MDK, I heard a lot about this game during my life. A lot of people put it as one of the hidden gems of the original PlayStation, but for some reason, I never really cared enough to try it. This is the main menu, and I was instantly hooked by the music in it. When you start the game, you're informed that a huge city minecrawler is headed straight for Laguna Beach, and you're then thrown into Earth where you have to avoid some rockets. And when you get to the ground, you hear a chimp that is actually a robot, and when you grab it, your character says he feels stop. You go around shooting aliens and grab the world's smallest nuke to open doors. So yeah, this game is a lot to unpack. I feel like the graphics are where the game shines the most, at least on the PS1 version, which is the one I'm playing. Of course, I know it looks pretty basic and a lot of places have nothing in it, but do you remember how low the draw distances were in PS1 games? Like Silent Hill or Medal of Honor? Now look how far you can see in this game. This clearly comes at the expense of textures and basic geometry, but it's still cool to see. The gameplay can be a bit janky, especially when you're trying to do small turns, but you basically run around shooting everything in sight. There are some specific things the game asks you to do, like shooting bombs inside hatches that go down to enemies. And I feel like they're trying to act like it's physics-based and when it's clearly not. But it might have been cooler in 1997. Oh, and as you probably noticed, this game is weirdly interesting. I don't think there's an explanation to what everything is. Like, what the hell is this room supposed to be? But I also don't think everything needs an explanation either. Being interesting is just fine. The game has a sequel called MDK2, and it might be cool to go back and finish both of them, cause this one really caught my attention. For our second game, we have The Unholy War, where you can play the demo for Soul Reaver. I was skeptical of this one at first because if you know anything about me, you know that I'm terrible at RPGs and strategy games. However, this one is only half strategy game, because the other half is a fighting game, which was interesting. You can pick between Mayhem and Strategy mode. Mayhem being just fighting and Strategy, well, being the strategy game. I'll just go through the strategy mode because it's the full experience of the game. You have two forces in a war over a planet, and that's where you start. You can move your characters in a board, and when you get close to another character, you can attack them, which then goes into the fighting mode of the game. If you have a character right next to another one of yours, you can use both characters in a fight. Some characters have powers that can be used in the board, like teleporting or blocking spaces, which is pretty interesting. But again, I don't know if that's standard for games like this. I really don't play them. The fighting is a little bit of a letdown for me though. It is interesting and maybe it's better with another player, but I would really like to see it more fleshed out in a sequel, which I actually looked for and sadly never happened. You can use square, circle, or triangle for different attacks. Sometimes instead of attacks they can be for traps or things like that. But the fighting is simply way too fast for me. They are way too quick and I kinda get it. They can't make a single battle take like 4 hours. But as soon as the characters die, they're gone. And there's only 16 characters in this game, so you can expect to see the same characters in other boards many times. Characters do have strengths and weaknesses against other characters, but it's cool that you always have a fighting chance even though your character is bad against another. Like I said, I really wanted to see another game like this. In this one, it really seems like all they had was the idea and just wanted to see if people will like it before the real game came out. There's really not a lot of content in it, and what you see here is what you get. And for the last game, we got Mort the Chicken. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. No, but seriously, I was actually pretty interested to see what this one was all about. The cover looks like something I would play as a kid, so from all 3 games that we talked about today, this one is the one I was most curious about.
I'm Chicken Little.
And I'm Henny Penny.
Once again presenting the controversial videotape received earlier today.
Did it. Instead of making an actual decent port of the game, they just got Most Wanted and deleted the handling of the cars. But you know what? Okay, I'll give it a fair chance. Starting from the graphics, this is one of the ugliest PS2 games I've ever played. Not even joking, you see... Wrong video. The story on this game is that these cubes from another dimension want the chicken to free the cubes that they have, like the haystacks. The cubes then capture the chicks and Mort goes after them. And that's where the game starts. Your objective is to get in the level, collect all the chicks and leave. You can get some coins and stars to get more points at the end of each level, but besides that, there's really nothing to it. You can peck and hit with your comb, and the only enemies I saw were these cubes. You can also get power-ups that make you jump higher and... What am I doing here? It's a kids game. You grab the chicks and get out. The humor can be funny though.
Why would the star of a children's television show leap down a well?
Very unchicken-like.
What got into him? Is he insane?
Is he a hero or in cahoots with these cubes? Joining us for this discussion is Dr. Carl Cockerell, expert in television personality analysis and appropriate barnyard behavior. Dr. Cockerell, Mort the Chicken, help, hindrance, menace, hero?
Whatever else he is, Mort is a chicken.
So yeah, that's it for this game. It's a very basic kids game with simplistic controls and not a lot to it. So in this section I stopped because I wanted to make another half of the video on the Grinch, but after playing it for 15 minutes I was falling asleep on my chair. Seriously, it's one of those bad games that aren't even bad enough to be funny, so I'll just act like nothing happened and let the video end. But yeah, as always, a huge thank you for our new members: Aldrin, who upgraded to Fantag, Billiam is cool, Carlos Eduardo, Crimson Ruby, Cyan, André Araújo, Clocks, Mystic, and Ferri Drogonson, I think. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, make sure to leave a like. It really helps me a lot. Oh, and I really hope you have a great Christmas. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.